shameless junkets using the taxpayers' money by ministers and MLAs continue. This time, a massive row has erupted over Goa government granting funds to send 6 MLAs to travel to Brazil for the Football World Cup. Sources in Goa Chief Minister's office tell headlines today that the delegation includes the Goa Sports Minister as well. In fact, no expert or member of the Sports Authority of Goa is part of the delegation. Opposition Congress has alleged that the state government is spending 89 lakh rupees for the netas junket. And thanks to the generosity of the Goa government, 6 MLAs, including 3 ministers, will be packing their bags later this month to go and witness the FIFA World Cup 2014. These include Sports Minister Ramesh Tawardkar, Fisheries Minister Albertano Furtado, Power Minister Milind Nayak, Vasco MLA Carlos Almeida, Velim MLA Benjamin Silva and Altona MLA Glenn Ticklow. Rasesh Mandani is now joining us with more details on this shameless junket that is being taken up by the ministers and MLAs in Goa. Rasesh, what is the explanation that the Goa government is giving?
Well, interestingly, Maha, the government is defending its move. We just spoke to the Fisheries Minister, and his position is that there's a 2017 India is set to host the Youth World Cup, the Under-17 World Cup, and this would be an educative tour in the sense they would be able to provide feedback. But in a set of ministers and MLAs going to witness the games in Brazil, minus any football expert, what sort of feedback they would be able to provide and what sort of benefit it would provide, whether this is wasteful expenditure and is there any way the government can defend it, is a matter open to debate and anybody's guess.
Also, Rasesh, the big question arises as to why 6 people need to go, and as you were pointing out, why not take an expert? Is there any specific explanation for that?
Well, there isn't anything. Like I said, the government defending its position and the sponsored junket. 3 ministers, 3 MLAs minus any football expert going to witness the quarterfinals and semi-finals. It's a sort of a dream trip for any football fan. But the ministers, it seems, are willing to go ahead and take the trip in the name of being able to provide a feedback to a future tour. Interestingly, some of the MLAs who are going to Brazil had also been to England previously a couple of years back to witness the motocross rally there. That was in the name of being able to come up with feedback to organize a motocross rally in future date in Goa. Nothing has happened so far, and whether this trip will benefit at all is again anyone's guess.
Rasesh, do stay on with us. We have with us Mr. Furtado. He's the Goa Fisheries Minister. He's now joining us on the phone line. He's one of those who's going on this junket. So why do you need to go for the FIFA World Cup? You're a Fisheries Minister. Why not send some expert if really there is a need for the Goa government to have a report on how to organize big events like this?
Yes, I've been a footballer in my I've been playing football for nearly 15 years. And I have played for almost all the top clubs in Goa. There's Campos, Alongas, Churchill Brothers, MRF. And I was selected for the Indian team under 21, which was supposed to go to Russia. You see, I have dedicated my life for football. Now that I'm in politics, it's fine. But I don't see why shouldn't we go for the World Cup. Now in 2017, we are having the World Cup under 17 here in Goa. So by we going, at least we can see the infrastructure there. We can do something here in Goa.
But Mr. Furtado, the question is, why spend 89 lakh rupees, that's the taxpayers' money, for this junket?
See, whatever we are going to learn something then. We are not just going to watch.
But sir, 89 lakh rupees is a big amount of money.
That's okay, but anyhow we'll be learning something there. No? By going for the World Cup, we'll learn something and come.
Sir, these junkets have come under attack several times around. It is embarrassing for governments to really send ministers and MLAs at the cost of the taxpayer. Why? How do you justify it? Just for a study tour to understand the infrastructure? Is it not possible to do it long distance perhaps?
I can't get you. I'm traveling. I can't hear you. Your voice is cracking.
Sir, I wanted to ask you, how is 89 lakh rupees expenditure justified when many people in the country view this as wasteful expenditure of the taxpayers' money?
Madam, I can't. Our voice is cracking as I'm traveling. I'm on my way. I can't hear you.
All right, that was Mr. Furtado, the Fisheries Minister. He can't seem to hear us at this point in time. Pertinent questions are being put to him as to why 89 lakh rupees should be spent on a junket for 6 MLAs and ministers of Goa who are going to Brazil to witness the FIFA World Cup. Now, their contention is that they're going to study the infrastructure that has been built for an event like this. However, most people believe this is wasteful expenditure and doing it at the cost of the taxpayers' money is criminal. Now, Rasesh is still with us. Rasesh, clearly, Mr. Furtado, perhaps not wanting to answer some of our questions. They're saying that our line is breaking up. He can't hear us. But it is embarrassing for the government. How is it going to defend this expenditure of 89 lakh rupees?
You said it right, Maha. It's going to be embarrassing for the government, particularly at these times. Obviously, the opposition Congress latching onto the opportunity, attacking Narendra Modi, and every BJP state government, and some of these measures that they would take would be closely scrutinized by the Congress, by the opposition, at a time when the Prime Minister is making it openly public that there is no need for any wasteful expenditure and it should be spent on the poor. It's quite inexplicable how the government is funding the budget for the ministers to watch football games, which while they could have been spent for a lot more purposeful activity. You said it right as well. In these times of technology, there isn't really any need for a minister to go and see a game of World Cup's magnitude when you're having an under-17 game for which there could be a lot more planning which could be held in India itself.
Rasesh, also you tour the world extensively on work. Have you ever seen any other country send delegations of the nature that India sends to apparently study the infrastructure? Have you seen other countries do that as well, waste the taxpayers' money?
It occasionally happens, but it should not, Maha. And like I also mentioned a couple of years back, some of the very same MLAs had also been to England to study a motocross rally. Now, again, some of the ministers are clearly going to watch to witness the World Cup games at the taxpayers' money. These are clearly cases of wasteful expenditure on part of the government, and something that the BJP government in Goa will have to defend itself, and they'll find themselves very difficult to defend.
Rasesh Mandani, many thanks for giving us a perspective on that wasteful expenditure, as many people put it, of taxpayers' money, with 6 MLAs and ministers of the Goa government going ostensibly on a study tour in Brazil to watch FIFA.